Okay, good evening, everyone. Today is July 9th. It's 6:20 p.m. Calling to order the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust Board meeting.
Leslie Angla Dorlings,
Present.
Ashley Toussaint,
Present.
Alyssa Zapata, Robert Holland, absent, Rudy Meme, absent. You have quorum to proceed.
Okay. Any person who acts as a lobbyist pursuant to City of Miami Ordinance number 11469, codified in Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code, must register with the City Clerk prior to engaging in lobbying activities before city staff, boards, committees, and the City Commission. A copy of said ordinance is available in the office of the City Clerk at City Hall. The material for each item on the agenda is available online at https://miami.fl.iqm2.com/citizens/detail_meeting.aspx?ID=3776. Any person may be heard before the board through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the board unless modified by the chair. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such a later date before the board takes action on such proposition. The chair will advise the public when the public may have an opportunity to address the board during the public comment period or at any other designated time.
For the order of the day, I would like to request to withdraw items 3B, 3C, and 3E from the agenda. I would like to add an absence waiver for Rudy Meme. And the second item would be the covenant for Laundromat Art Space.
Motion to approve the adjustments to the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor? Is that a name, Alyssa? Oh, okay. Motion passes.
So now we are going to open it up to public comment. We are going to ask if someone has a public comment in relations to the Little Haiti Cultural Center. We are going to ask for you to wait and have your public comment later on when the item is up for discussion. As for now, we are asking for anyone who has public comment not regarding the Little Haiti Cultural Center to please come down and make their comment.
Good evening. Board members of the trust, Madam Chair, and the community. I wanted to point out that we have a serious issue in Little Haiti at the moment with this gun violence. And with the outstanding job of the police officers, they cannot do it all by themselves. So I wanted to see if we could get some type of program going on to help better our community. Oh, excuse me, Sonny Jean Baptiste, resident of 8300 Northeast First Place. So I definitely wanted to put that to you guys' attention, that we need some type of program going on, and to keep our kids safe also. Kids can't come to the culture center if we still battling gun violence. And the police officers, they just can't do it by themselves. So we need public engagement. Thank you.
through the chair. That's definitely something that I want to echo. I'm aware of the gun violence that's been happening, but it is, we are short on facilities for our kids during the summertime. So, we are definitely going to need to make sure that we get the support that we need so that we can have actual programming for the kids. That's really what keeps kids out of trouble, programs. So it's not just up to, just the board, but anybody who has any resources, anybody that has, I see some people in here that seem to be running for public, office and things of that nature. Those are some of the things that we do need in Little Haiti. So he's echoing something that's been going for a long time. The trust will definitely support anything that is supporting anything that's going to support our youth. Well, thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Sonny.
And just to reiterate, during the CEO report, during our last meeting, we did ask for an update as to all of the different summer programs that are available to Little Haiti. So we'll get an update about all the summer programs that are available.
Good evening, everyone. Marion K. Brown, 12300 Northwest 17th Avenue. To the board, to you and your families and all your loved ones, may all of them be safe during this new year and this new holidays. One thing that I see into this community, which is my community, is that the gentrification. And it seems like it's actually the people that live here doesn't feel comfortable because of the increase in taxes and the increase of monthly rent. This is something that's been going on for the last 2 years in this area. So pretty much it's like pushing the old community that's here and pushing them out for the new thriving upcoming community that already been planned and already been resourced out to how they're going to come in and redevelop this area. And it's pretty much it's going to keep and leave out the people that's in the community just like they did in Overtown and just like they're doing in Liberty City. So in another 2 years, the community that we once knew, it'll be a new community. And we have all these people that's in power, that's constantly pushing forward. And this is the direction that they're heading. And they're not choosing the people, they're choosing progress. And to me, choosing progress is eliminating the people and whatever development that comes into the community, that's the train that they jump on. So what would happen in another 2 years when the people come back and they say, what happened to my community? Because they choose progress. Thank you.
Before we close public comment, I would just like to reiterate, anyone who would like to make a comment about any item on the agenda except the cultural center, this is the opportunity to make that comment.
So we'll go ahead and close public comment at this time, and we'll move forward to the check presentations for the small business grants.
We have payments ready for 2 small businesses. One is Libere Mapu, that's located right next door. We invite him to come down to receive his check for his small business grant.
pays par nous dit merci beaucoup.
We have a second presentation for Ferdinand Variety Store. If we can have the owner come to receive their payment.
Thank you. My name is Jonathan Solomon. I represent Fernandine's Variety Store across the street from my grandmother. I just wanted to thank, first and foremost, the Most High for blessing me, blessing my grandmother, blessing me with my grandmother, of course. I want to thank my grandmother for sure. She's not able to be here because she's an elderly woman. She's beat cancer. She's in remission, but she's still across the street doing her thing as she's been doing for the past 2-3 decades. I also want to thank the city, the board, who else should I thank? The Haitian community, Little Haiti, because without Little Haiti, I wouldn't be in this position right now. I've been in Little Haiti ever since I was a little boy. I want to say probably since I was like 7 years old. I went to St. Mary's. I used to have to walk to St. Mary's to catch the jitney. I'll get a little pate before I go. Come to my grandma's store and thug it out with her. Sell a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't know what it was, but today I do know everything and I know all the prices, I know what to do. I represent her, but she's the best representation for me. So I want to thank you guys.
The next presentation is the Dupree Building. The planning department is represented, however, there isn't an update. At the last meeting, Magic City did provide the information in regards to the historic preservation application, and any additional information would be provided at a later date. The next item is the Little Haiti Community Briefing by the City of Miami Police Department. They are providing us with quarterly updates.
All right, good evening. Many of you may know me, some of you don't. My name is Robert Lorenzo. I'm the police commander for Little Haiti. Just want to thank the community for all the support that everybody's given us. And like was mentioned, we'll be coming regularly to provide updates. With me is our neighborhood resource officer, Finley Duclos, to provide some numbers, and I'll be here on hand as well if anybody has any specific questions that I could address in regards to the police in Little Haiti.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Finley Duclos. I'm the neighborhood resource officer for the Little Haiti neighborhood. So this evening, just wanted to keep you guys updated on what's going on in the area. As of late, the #1 crime we've been experiencing is vehicle burglaries. In one night, we got hit pretty hard with 34 burglaries in one area within the 40s. What we did the very next day, myself and my partner, Officer Jean-Gilles, which many of you might know as well, and our support sergeant, Sergeant Gillette, we went out into the neighborhoods and we did an educational component, trying to educate the neighbors in the neighborhood as to what to do, what not to leave out in plain sight so that these guys don't break into your vehicles. What's very important, a lot of these newer vehicles that you guys have, they have a feature on them that once you lock the door, the rear view mirrors, the side mirrors, they fold. that indicates that the door is locked, I don't even need to check it. So what these guys are doing, if they see that those mirrors are out and they're exposed, what they'll do, they'll pull on the handle just to see if the door is unlocked. And if it is unlocked, then they go through your car and steal everything. So we were able to get surveillance footage of these individuals that broke into these vehicles, and it's an ongoing investigation. But we want to thank the neighbors, the community, for always being our eyes and our ears out while we're out there. So we thank you for that. I want to touch on another subject that I heard earlier reference our children in our Little Haiti neighborhood. Here at the City of Miami Police Department, we have what we call a Police Athletic League. They have numerous programs ranging from the age of 5 all the way up to 16, 17. Please, if you need any information on that, get in contact with me and I'll point you in the right direction. They have football programs, cheerleading programs, dance programs, basketball programs, things that we can keep these kids off the streets. So, Mr. Sonny, we work very closely with you as well. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I'll get you in contact with the person. We also have a very huge program, which is called our Police Explore program. So we have every Wednesday evening over at our station on 1000 Northwest 62nd Street. That program is very influential with the kids, specifically in the Little Haiti area and the Model City area. So we would love to have our kids from our neighborhoods involved in these programs so that we can assist them with anything that they may need. If you guys have any questions for me, I have a couple seconds I can answer them. Okay. You can contact me over at the North District Station, which is at 1000 Northwest 62nd Street. And once you get there, you just let them know you want to speak to Officer Duclos, and they will contact me, and I'll get you whatever information that you need. Okay? Anyone else?
So you have to go to the station to get your number? There's no number that we can call you not ready?
Let me give you my email address. That'll be the best thing. If you're ready to write it down.
What happened when we email?
I'm gonna respond. I have it right now on my phone. It's gonna be 41
Okay.
309 at Miami-police.org. So it's 41309 at Miami-police.org. Thank you all for your time this evening.
If you don't mind, I have a question for you. If you could you please bring up what occurred last week as far as the incident that occurred? It started in Model City and carried on into Little Haiti, because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that's on a lot of people's minds, that it was an isolated incident, because that's where I travel on a daily basis, and that was pretty scary for me, and I'm sure a lot of people in this room. So if you could tell us, what's being done to quell that, because every summer the violence ticks up, and it got kind of scary last week.
All right, so I know that situation is very scary, and right now we can't share intimate details of what's going on because it's still an active investigation. But what we can tell you is that the two incidents are linked, related to gang violence. However, anything more than that, we can't really share intimate details because it's still an open investigation. But what we have done is we significantly increased the police presence in the patrols. So for those of you who have noticed, you may have seen more and more police vehicles that are patrolling the area. We've increased the number of mobile cameras that we've put around the different parts of the neighborhood, as well as license plate readers, in order to be able to identify and also put our focus on some of these vehicles that may be causing some of the crime in the area. The department has basically mobilized significant resources and reassigned resources from other parts of the city just to come to Little Haiti to help mitigate that problem so that we can help put the community at ease. But as you mentioned, though, it was an isolated incident. We are very proud to say that last year we saw close to an 8.4 decrease in crime in the Little Haiti area. Now, year to date, we are down another 2% when it comes to Part 1 crime. So we're doing really well in preventing a lot of the crime that's happened, because I've been with the city almost 28 years, and I've been in the Little Haiti community for many, many years. And I gotta say that things are changing, things are getting for the better, and like I mentioned before, we really appreciate the community's help, the information that they give us, the information they share, the surveillance cameras, not only from private businesses, but also from homeowners. That really helps us a lot whenever we have these type of crimes.
So thank you, and I hope it keeps trending in that direction. And if there's anything that this board can do, or anything that this trust can do, please don't hesitate to contact us and ask us.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more thing I wanted to add, just to show you a bit of the focus that we've done, and Officer Duclos felt that it would be important to share. In the 36 hours after that incident, we recovered 18 firearms and we made a significant number of arrests. So, yes, Mr. Mabu. So, when we talk about Part 1 crimes, we're talking about burglaries, robberies, car thefts, assaults. So, for example, felony and misdemeanor assaults are considered Part 1 crimes. Those are the most significant ones, the ones that we focus on, the ones that are something like, let's say prostitution would be a Part 1 crime. But burglary, someone burglarizes your home or your business, that would be a Part 1 crime. Someone steals your vehicle, that's very important to us. What Officer Duclos was mentioning earlier, 4 criminals targeted families on Father's Day. Sunday morning, Father's Day, between 4 and 6:30 in the morning, they hit 35 cars. That's unacceptable. Because I don't know about y'all, who can fix their car on a Sunday, especially on Father's Day? And when fathers are supposed to be enjoying their day, they took that day to target people. That's unacceptable for me. So some of you that do live in the 40s may have noticed officers at night on bicycle. We've added that component as well. You may have seen motorcycles riding around. You may have seen officers riding around with sometimes with lights, sometimes without the lights. You've been seeing a significant increase in resources. Is because we're trying to mitigate that, as well as bring this up to people to justice, but also to the incident that you mentioned as well. So, all right. Does anybody else have any other questions we can address over here?
I have one question right here, Vice Chair. You said you have an Explorer program once every Wednesday.
Yeah, it's every Wednesday afternoon.
Is there a way, I don't know if you guys do like ride along with them where they can come and ride and like do community stuff with y'all, but one of the things that we've been trying to push is to get more young people to come to our meetings. So like if you all are already gonna come here and you're already engaging youth, maybe the next time you all do your report, you can bring them along with y'all so they can see that there's a trajectory to the work that needs to be done.
I will pass that information over to the Police Explorer Advisor, which is Officer Louis G. And I'm pretty sure he'll be excited to bring the youth over to experience this. All right?
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Did y'all do away with the program, Big Brother, Big Sisters? Did y'all do away with that program? Did you do away with the program, Big Brothers, Big Sisters?
So we participate with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, but it doesn't come from us. But when they do ask us to be part of it, we do participate with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. But you mentioned the Explorer program. I'm a product of the Explorer program, so I know how important it is. If it wasn't for the Explorer program, it probably would have got me. I would have probably got in trouble growing up. So it helped me out. But I want also to say that if you all do know somebody that you would think that would be a great police officer, we are having a police recruitment drive. It's coming up on the 9th, I believe it is. But yeah, we are looking for police officers. We have an open recruitment that's going on right now. If you go to our website, you'll see a link on there. We recommend that anybody that's 19 or above, that has a good record, clean driving record, someone that is honest, someone that has good character. We're looking for those people. But tell them that it fills up really, really quickly. It's very competitive. But we're looking for the best, the brightest, and all the benefit packages around there. So please, if you do know someone. And you can actually, yes, you can follow us on social media, on our Facebook, Twitter, X or Twitter, what they call it now, Instagram. But they're constantly pushing out videos to tell people exactly what we're looking for, the different criteria, or where to go to apply, and then, so there's a lot of information on that.
It's from 19 to,
All right, thank you very much, everybody.
excuse me, it's from 19 to what age?
19 up?
19 and up, as long as you can pass the requirements. But I don't think they'll let you wear the hat. You have to be a U.S. citizen, 19 years old, must have a valid driver's license, good driving record, as well as criminal history. Okay?
Thank you.
For legislative items, 3A, approval of the minutes, approving the minutes for the following meetings, the June 18, 2024 special board meeting minutes.
Test the motion to approve.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the minutes are passed. Next legislative item, Resolution 2024-009, fiscal year 2025 budget. You want to read the resolution?
Okay, that is a resolution of the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust with attachments approving and adopting its general operating budget attached and incorporated as Exhibit A in the total amount of $6,404,600 for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2024 and ending September 30, 2025, fiscal year 24-25 budget, subject to the City of Miami City Commission's approval, ratifying, approving, and confirming certain necessary actions of the President/CEO to update the relevant financial controls, create necessary fund accounts, and to undertake project closeouts, accounting entries, and computer systems in connection therewith, all in accordance with applicable sections of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, providing for an effective date.
So I don't know if I'm ready to vote on this tonight. I have some questions and think that maybe this is a little bit premature. Do we have a little bit of time before that this is due? I'm concerned that there's no new programming, for example, in this budget.
So I think we definitely have to meet what the initial intent was for the 3 programs, and I think we had decided previously we were going to make priority on those 3 initial programs and then start to look at expansion.
Understood. So I'm under the impression, maybe I'm not in the right vein, but that was our goals and priorities for last year, and that money was set aside last year. So going forward, this next year, are we just going to continue with our 3 programs, or do we have any new goals or any new programs or new things we want to achieve and expand on?
So we only have executed 2 out of the 3 programs. So definitely in this fiscal year, we'll continue with the 2 and definitely make sure there is a priority for the 3rd programming. Is there a suggestion for additional programming?
I don't think that we've had a chance to explore anything or discuss anything. I honestly feel, from my point of view, that it's a little rushed, that it's a little premature. I'm okay with most of it, but I think that, we're on our feet now, and I think there's some expectations of us, and I'd like to maybe just hold off, and there's, a lot going on right now, and haven't really had a chance to come up with, any suggestions or discuss them with the board or put anything on any agenda yet.
So, okay.
To the chair, may I? Is there a way that we can approve it now, and then if we need to make amendments, we could in the future?
I think you can always make amendments on the budget.
We
Yeah.
can make amendments. There is a schedule through the city in which we have to submit an initial draft. Usually it's in April. We complete these numbers based on an estimate, and we come back with a finalized number. So you will have another iteration of the budget that is brought back to you, where you can make these amendments prior to it being passed at the end of the fiscal year. So we still need to calculate, for example, what our rollover would be, in addition to, interest on the funds. And at the time, we could come back and also make any expenditures amendments that you would like to as well.
Okay, as long as there's another bite at the apple, so to speak, because there's been so much going on, on other fronts. It really feels kind of rushed, and, there are some things that need our attention. So I'm okay with that, as long as that, we put this on August or September's agenda to kind of revisit and see what we want to do, in addition to our items that we already have, the programs that we already have, the 3 of them.
Okay, so I want to clarify something really quick. So the way this resolution is written, this is adopting the budget, right? And that's subject to the city commission's approval. So in the enabling ordinance for the trust, right, there's a requirement to submit to the city manager April 1 of every year your operating budget for the next fiscal year. So we're a little behind on that. Now, all that said, there's nothing that prevents you from adopting a supplemental budget. So if something were to come back, it would be in that form, right? You would adopt your general operating, and then if it came back before you, you would be adopting a supplemental budget.
Okay, I understand that part, what you're saying, and realize that we don't have time, we're behind, actually. So as long as that we can revision things, I'm okay with that.
So, for the CEO, I think that warrants some type of workshop or some type of, it has to, of course, be in the sunshine with the board. I don't think what Ms. Zapata is saying is there's probably not enough time to do it at the board meeting, but I think we should dedicate some time to really focus on the budget to make sure that all of the suggestions are brought forth and we are not delaying the process. So if we can schedule something possibly in August, because I know, well, we're off in August, excuse me, so maybe dedicate a meeting, a regular board meeting and a special meeting for a budget workshop, so that way it can go in front of commission.
Are we making a motion to defer this resolution for now?
No, I don't think we should defer. Thank you, I really like your suggestion with her amendment, with her suggestions, with the chair's proffered. I think it's perfect, and we should go ahead and move it to be able to stay on schedule, because, I mean, this is, was
We don't
doing,
want the budget
yeah,
to
we're
just
months
be
behind
last-
before we
yeah.
go,
I just want to make sure we all on the same page.
before there's a big problem. So, yeah, as long as,
You want to move?
sure. I will move the 2024-2025 Little Haiti Revitalization Trust budget with the amendment from our chair to hold a meeting or a charrette or a review, hopefully in the month of August.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. I think because we're off in August, we may have a double in September, like a charrette and our regular board meeting, if that, we can schedule that.
So to clarify the motion, because I think the motion was August, so if you don't mind, we could vacate and do another vote, but for September.
Okay, I don't know if I can spit all that out again. So hopefully it's recorded and it's on the record. And when it's appropriate, whether it's in August or in September, to give us some leeway, both of those months are acceptable when it can be scheduled and when it's okay with everyone.
All right, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. So the next agenda item is for an absent waiver for board member Rudy Mimi.
Do we need to discuss it, or do we vote on it, or? Okay, I make a motion to accept his absence waiver.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Absent waiver approved. And I believe the next item is going to be the covenant for Laundromat's Art Space. I believe the covenant was distributed to all the board members, and we will open it up also to, after, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, to reopen it for both, understood. Okay. Do you want to go ahead? Yeah, you can go ahead in because you were gonna discuss it in the CEO report regardless.
So we wanted to bring back the item that was discussed here multiple times at the board meeting, in which the board had voted to be in support of the rezoning application if there was a covenant that was placed on the property. So the language for the restrictive covenant has been drafted. You have a copy that has been provided to you. As the board indicated, there is a restrictive covenant to maintain the space for art-related commercial uses, including artist studios, workspace, display or sale of artwork, and ancillary art programming. Also, the property should have art exhibits promoting Haitian art and culture and art educational programming offered to children in Little Haiti. The restricted covenant is in effect for a period of 10 years. So we're bringing it back to advise the board that the owner has agreed to place the restrictive covenant. The item is now scheduled to go in front of commission this Thursday. Are there any comments in regards to the items that are listed on the restricted covenant?
So I have two concerns. Is this the final product, or are our comments to be taken into consideration tonight, or how do you want me to proceed?
If there's comments that you would like to discuss, we can respond to this item in writing with a letter to the commission. If there are items that you would like to add.
There's two. With regard to number 2 on page 2, who do they come back to? That was one of the things that myself and board member Holland asked. And he specifically wanted to understand that if there was a change on the property, that they would come back to this board for our support. Our support was not a blanket support. They had to come back if in fact that they do want to change something, the property sold, there's big, upheaval in Little Haiti, whatever the case was, that they come back to this board if this board is still in action. And then number 8, this can be interpreted in many different ways, and I would like to know who determines number 8. The city, the planning and zoning board, this board, who determines the releases from this agreement?
Okay, so let me endeavor to answer the first one. So with the first one, right, this covenant restricts them to art-related and commercial uses and other certain ancillary uses to, art commercial. So the covenant that's being put in place is in place for 10 years. So what that means is that they wouldn't be able to change the use outside of what falls into this category, at least for a period of 10 years. If they wanted to change that, or they wanted to change the use entirely from something outside of T50, then they would have to go through a whole new application process for this parcel, and I assume that would start with the city and then ultimately come before the board, much like it did the first time. The only caveat that I see in this is, and this goes to Robert's concern as well, what he's said before. So, I believe in his discussion, he wanted to restrict it to the specific use that it's being used for now. T50 is a little larger than that specific use. So after this covenant expires within 10 years, let's say it's year 11 and they want to change something, if they're within that T50, they could do that, right? And change it to another use that's within that, that zoning. So that's the only caveat with this language here.
That's kind of what I'm having a hard time with. There's there's releases from the agreement, and once it expires, then we have given our blanket support, and that was one of our largest concerns, that this is on Northeast 2nd Avenue in downtown Little Haiti. So, I mean, I'm extremely happy that we have a covenant, that we've reached this point, but I think it needs, it has a few maybe holes, and maybe a little bit stronger language would help to protect such an important street here. And I think that maybe it just needs a few extra sentences.
Is that, your comment, is it on the length of time or the nature of the use?
Somewhere between numbers 2 and 3. I want to understand between the restrictions and the term, who do they come back to and when? In year 11, year 9, when they're planning something, that we're not giving a blanket approval, which was our original concerns. And then number 8, who determines that it's no longer necessary? Say in year 7, zoning changes, we get, Miami 22, for example. There's some things that, drastic things could happen,
Right, so number 8 is, it's usually some standard language in all of our covenants, but this is usually done in coordination with the zoning administrator, planning, and the building department as well.
Okay,
Right.
that's perfectly okay. Can we add those 3 departments, or one of those departments, or someone that is the determining department or director that determines this? There's no department or director or person listed in this at all. So I'm fine with number 8 as long as it has a place to go for the answer.
But I think, Ms. Zapata, I think it's saying the declaration shall be subject to the approval by city commission at a public hearing. So from my understanding, in order for them to have gotten this covenant or for them to have submitted their application, they needed to solicit the board's approval for their application. So at some point, if we are the conduit for the community, at some point, although not specified, laid out, they gotta come back in front of the board. I don't see how they would go to be able to submit another application without coming to the board to seek approval or,
Because
You
this
know.
agreement doesn't say that. And if I'm their
but I
attorney.
don't know if the board is a party to the agreement. I
But
don't
I'm
know
not
if we
asking
can
for
be.
them to come back to the board. I was asking for whether it's building, zoning, planning, whomever, the first step in the city is what I was asking for.
And
And
they have to go back to the planning department, right, as part of the application process to the city. So it's gonna involve planning and then,
that it needs to be re-reviewed, that this just doesn't go, this covenant doesn't get put back before the commission.
But it wouldn't get put back in front of the commission if they didn't submit a new application.
yeah, and it does, because any amendment or modification of the lease of this has to go back in front of the city commission.
They have to do something, like something has to happen. A trigger, thank you. I am not the planning person, but.
Good evening, David Snow with the Planning Department. Good evening, Board. So really quick, just to talk through some of the nuts and bolts in the covenant that's been provided. So right now, in term 2, which is the restrictions themselves, it's limiting that space to be maintained at a square footage for art function, okay, that we just went through. In addition to that, there's also programming that's specified for Haitian art and culture, as well as educational programming offered to children of Little Haiti. So those are the 2 criteria that is to be maintained on that property. This is to be maintained for 10 years, okay? There's if this is adopted, there's really no going around that, unless, if you look at number 8, is to be released by city commission approval. So that's probably the hardest line you can have, as opposed to administrative approval, which allows myself or the zoning administrator to say in 7 years, they come in and say, you know what, art's not working out here, we need to remove this. And then we can do it administratively. This says city commission approval, so it requires the commission to act to release the covenant before the 10 years. That's how it's currently drafted right now. Oh, sorry.
So it's not like this agreement that governs this board, that the planning director governs that agreement.
So the agreement is on the land, right? So anytime future development comes in on that site, within the 10-year period, it's required that we review it in conjunction with that agreement, right? That they're maintaining all of those conditions that they're obligated to. That's the teeth. That's the teeth. Now, for whatever reason, if they're saying, you know, the art program, the art whatever is not working out in this area, we have a market study, we're gonna go to the commission to ask for it to be released. That's the only way that they can release it. Other than that, any future development, anything else on that site within 10 years has to meet those conditions. Zoning will verify that, as well as planning as well.
Thank you.
Through the chair, so my understanding of this item, we are just reviewing it, we're just discussing it, there's no action to be taken on this. Yeah,
We already voted on a covenant, and so this is the covenant that has been drafted. So we provided our support to the application for this zoning based on a covenant, and this is the actual covenant. So, yeah. So, are there, Ms. Zapata, is there anything you would like us to add, or for the CEO to add as comments into a letter? Okay.
I mean, if it was me, I would ask that they do come back to this board in writing, but I understand that it requires commission approval. It would be nice since it was generated from this board. I'm just trying to digest. I got this when I walked in the door. So yes, it did start here. We suggested the covenant, and I'm very happy that we reached this point. So I'm okay. If I had it to do from scratch, I would ask that they come back to this, kindly ask that they come back to this board and present to us first, but other than that, I'm okay.
Okay. So, the next item, for the CEO report. Just a minute.
For the CEO report for July, I'm going to start off with the administrative updates. For the month of August, the trust will be advertising for 2 board positions. That'll be advertised for the requirement of 30 days. I also wanted to provide an update on the FIU strategic playbook. 2 of the 5 payments have been made for the progress towards the deliverables with the FIU contract. The next community meeting will be scheduled in either late August or early September. The trust will be planning a day of service to canvass the residential neighborhood prior to that next community meeting for the strategic playbook. Also, the trust has launched a YouTube channel in which we will be posting all of our board meetings for viewing in the entirety. So anyone who's not able to attend in person will be able to go online and watch that as well. As far as programmatic updates, we provided you with an updated list of the small business grant applications. After today's disbursements, we also have additional small businesses that have now received their application. And we also have forwarded additional applications and routed them for signature at the city as well. You also have an update on the Haitian Heritage Month applications that were submitted, that were submitted to the trust on behalf of District 5. We have provided a list of those applications that have been forwarded for payment, and also the applications, the documentation that we're still waiting, but the grand total is still the $106,000. Then you have your financial report with the operational expenses current year to date. And then the last item that we wanted to provide, I'm going to have our special projects coordinator, Ashley Francois, review. This is our canvassing report in which we did through the business corridors in Little Haiti. And so she'll be going over some statistical information that we learned from that report.
Thank you. I am Ashley Francois, the Special Projects Coordinator for the Trust. We did obtain the assistance of a canvassing group to canvass business corridors in Little Haiti, specifically in those main areas of Northeast 2nd Avenue, Northwest 2nd Avenue, as well as 54th Street. The canvassing team assessed the areas between the months of March and February, and they provided some information to business owners on the trust on our small business grant, as well as invited these business owners to the community workshop that we had during that time frame. Please note, especially to the board, that the canvassing was completed during the first iteration of the grant, so this was prior to the changes that were made. A total of 155 businesses were reached, with a total of 63 businesses actually responding to the survey. And the survey questions were based on the requirements of the first iteration of the grant. 119 of the businesses were operational, 34 were closed, and 2 relocated. So that's roughly 22% of the businesses that are no longer operational. However, 77% are operational. 74% of the businesses that were surveyed have been established over 5 years, and 20% have been in existence for over 10 years or more. The majority of business owners in the community rent or lease space. About 70% of the businesses that were surveyed lease or rent, and about 30% actually own. So this indicates a vulnerability and to those businesses that rent or lease into being displaced. The majority of the respondents operate retail businesses. That's about 31% or 19. And this indicates that the majority of the business owners operate retail types of businesses that were surveyed. However, a larger number of the respondents, 33%, they were either have other categories such as personal care, or they may have operate a smoke shop or manufacturing. One of the additional survey questions that were asked were, have you ever applied for a grant? And 87% of those surveyed responded no. So this indicates that there's a possibility of a lack of knowledge about the grants that are out there, or possibly a lack of willingness to apply for these grants, or a lack of proper documentation that's needed to apply for these grants that are here. So additional guidance and coaching will be required to help these businesses complete applications. Over 90% of the businesses that responded said that they're willing to apply for our grants, but they may not have met the requirements or have had all of the documentation. About 30% of the businesses have less than 5 employees, which is one of the requirements that we have for the grant agreement. 40% of the businesses did not answer that they had a financial obligation with the city, and in order to, one of the requirements of the grant was that you had to be clear of any financial obligations. And then over 80% of the businesses indicated that they do not make more than $300,000 a year. And just based on the complete survey results, 9 of the businesses met all of the requirements that, for the first iteration of the grant, and almost half met 2 or more of the specific requirements. So that gives us the opportunity. I know that we made the change a second time, but with this information, it gives us the opportunity to then look again as we continue to market our small business grants to make any changes to assist other businesses as well. So I'm open to any comments or questions from the board.
Through the chair, a couple questions. So if my math is correct, we're saying about 50% of the people that responded are still open and operating within Little Haiti.
About 77%.
77%.
Yeah.
And what's the raw number of businesses? 119 that are open. So about a little under 100?
Well, under 100 definitely responded, so
Yeah.
63 specifically, 63 businesses
And
specifically
the reason why I'm
responded to
asking that
survey.
question is because I'm trying to match up our awards for the grants based on, who
Yes,
was actually
so
eligible,
just
maybe
about-
eligible.
So out of the 155, 63 responded, so that's just a little bit over that 50%.
Yeah.
That.
So I'm thinking like those are some groups that we can prioritize right away and maybe revisit them, and because if 90% of them are willing to complete the grants, it's not like we're reaching out to people that don't want the support.
Agreed, and that we have that information now, and then we're gonna be able to go back and specifically target those businesses.
And then my second question is, how was the survey administered? Was it face to face? Was it computer? Was it phone bank?
No, it was face-to-face, so the canvassers went face-to-face, they provided information about us, the trust, the small business grant, they had the flyer, and they also invited them to I believe the first community workshop, if not the second community workshop that we had.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So for when we're talking about the type of businesses, the other for those 21, what does that kind of categorize?
So that categorized as a smoke shop, those manufacturing, maybe they sold appliance, so it wasn't specifically in the retail or beauty salon categories.
Thank you for the clarification. And I think our round number is 155.
155 that were reached, but only 63 actually responded to the survey.
Got it, okay.
Another question, was it available in all 3 languages? Was it available in Creole, English, and Spanish?
It wasn't available in Spanish, but it was available in Haitian Creole, yes.
Okay.
So, actually, for our next meeting, I would request, given this information is great data, but what's an action plan? How do we plan to, as Ashley stated, where is the opportunity for us to reach those businesses? Are we going to have some type of community workshop or forum letting them know how to apply for the grant? Just want to see if we can have an action plan as to the data that we've been provided.
My first plan of action was to target the 9 that specifically met all of the requirements, to confirm that those, because the survey went through everywhere to make sure that they haven't applied for the grant already, and if they have not, to target those, and then to look at, well, what are the other kind of requirements that were missing between them, and see whether we could fill those gaps, because a vast majority of them met at least 2 or more of the criteria, so we just have to see which of the criteria that meant that they were missing. Maybe it was a financial obligation, which is a little bit easier to navigate, but if it's a situation such as a BTR, of course we could assist with guiding them through the process, but unless they have a BTR, they're not really operational or can operate in the city. If I can, Chair. Additionally, through the President and CEO, we are working on additional marketing efforts. We've definitely been promoting it as much as we can. We've actually also worked on translating the application into Haitian Creole as well, so that way we reach a wider audience, so that will be going up on our website, and additionally will be shared when we go out to the community. And
So just moving forward, I'm glad for, again, data is what really drives me, because if you don't have data, you don't know where you're going forward. So just circling back, having some type of, especially you being the special projects coordinator, having some type of action plan. So if your priority is these 9 businesses, when are you gonna meet that? When is that going to happen? So at the next board meeting, you can go back to the board and say, I was able to reach all 9, but only 7 responded. So we could see what that success rate looks like. We could see kind of the progress or the success or possibly areas of opportunity for that plan.
Agreed. I just also wanted to comment that there was a high percentage, I believe it was like 90% of these businesses have never received any funding. So this is a process that's new to them. They're gonna need a lot of hand-holding and coaching in order for us to be able to get them through that process. So now that we do have their contact information, we know what the issues are, we can work closely with them in order to be able to get them through that process.
Doesn't see a report. So I guess now we're going to have the presentation or open up for public comment. I'm sorry, I'm confused today.
So prior to us getting to the discussion item, which is the Little Haiti Cultural Center facility maintenance, I just wanted to advise that at the last meeting, there was a concern in regarding to maintenance issues here at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. And we did invite the Parks Department to attend and provide us with a small update as far as some of the issues that we know were here at the center. The Parks graciously accepted to attend, as they are the department that oversees the Cultural Center as a city-owned facility. Here at the Trust, we are not responsible for either the maintenance or programming of the of the Little Haiti Cultural Center. And so we are thankful for city, and we know that there are other departments that are here as well, that are here to be able to provide us with an update. This is not the forum where we're going to be able to resolve the issues here at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. We are going to allow public comment for everyone to be able to advise their issues. The city, in return, will be having a community meeting at a later date, and that will be the proper forum for us really to be able to do a full assessment of what needs to be done at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. So before we even start, I'd like to thank Parks and the other city departments that are here for being willing to come and listen to both the community and the board members here at the Trust. At this time, I'm going to invite those who had signed in so that we can begin public comment directly related to 2 issues. One is the covenant that the board recently just discussed. The second is in regards to the Little Haiti Cultural Center. We're going to ask people to go ahead and come down to this microphone. Each person will have 2 minutes.
I'm going to go ahead and call the couple of names that signed up first. I know Shania Johnson, Jefferson Joseph, Sunny Jean Baptiste, Prophet Villa Saint, Dr. Floor, Mr. Kelly, and Rosalie. If you guys want to line up first, I know you guys had signed in first. And if you could meet me at the microphone on the left. Thank you.
Jefferson Adam Joseph, 324 Northeast 210th Way. So, in regards to the Little Haiti Cultural Center, personally speaking, I recently performed here in May, and the damages that occurred in the marketplace area, making it inaccessible, and other repairs, like those things are holding back what could be happening, especially since Miami has a history of not cultivating and upholding cultures in a way that's sustainable compared to, let's say, New Orleans or Chicago. And when do we know when these repairs will happen? Is there plans? Are there discussions happening about these repairs? Is that an actual concern? How does someone not on the board get access to this information?
Your comment. Parks will be addressing, after, when we finish public comment, the Parks Department and other city departments will be addressing everyone's concerns.
How you doing? My name is Prophet. I'm kind of curious. When you all were discussing your 10-year plan, I didn't really hear anything about this cultural center. That was something that was kind of strange to me. And it also sounds more along the lines of what the sentiments have been of it not being seen as a priority at all. And it's something that's very strange to me. I had something else too, but I feel like that was one of the more pressing issues to me. That seemed very strange to me. That in that 10-year plan, it didn't really include the cultural center and repairing it or doing anything to that nature as far as the cultural center. So I'll leave it at that for right now.
Marketplace, too expensive to rent. That's it.
Who? Jefferson Joseph,
So-
Sonny Jean Baptiste, Prophet Bill Singh.
Sonny Jean Baptiste and the Cultural Center is just too expensive to rent. The marketplace, not the Cultural Center.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ro Michelle. I want to address a question to you guys because I'm not sure. We did say we have staff from the Parks and Rec here. Should they be up here where we should be addressing the questions to them as opposed to you guys?
So this isn't, we're not answering questions. You're providing your public comment. So you give a comment as far as the statement you'd like to say within the two minutes, and then later on, Parks will be, just like our commission, they'll be providing their information.
After we ask the questions, you're saying they're going to answer them?
Correct.
And also, just to reiterate, let me reiterate that there will be a community meeting regarding the Cultural Arts Center at a later date. We're opening public comments regarding whatever the community would like to provide. So those issues can definitely be addressed at that community meeting.
Thank you. Well, I'll keep it short in that case. But I think it's ironic how at the beginning of this meeting, gun violence came up. Gun violence and lack of summer programs. And we have this culture center here that can resolve many of those issues, and we are not utilizing it for that. So and this is why I want to speak to the people who are going to make the decisions and not just have this falling on deaf ears. I think the majority of the people here feel the exact same way. Thank you.
This person to the microphone.
My name is Jandrick Castro. I agree with everything gentleman just said. I think a big part of like preserving our facilities is hosting events. So I just wanted to promote an event that we're having here at the theater. It's a screening on guaranteed income. It's run by Mayors for Guaranteed Income. If you're somebody who believes that we shouldn't have to make a decision between working for somebody else or starving, then I think it is a good opportunity to come to a screening and watch a movie here about it. It's on July 27th, so it'll be around 6 p.m. But yeah, if you're interested in that, I think we should be hosting more events, screenings here, cultural events here, because that preserves it just as much as maintenance, physical maintenance does. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Shayna Johnson, community member. I want to first thank Mr. Warren for your bravery and your leadership over the last year. And thank you to the amazing, hardworking staff at the Little Haiti Cultural Center and this community. I contribute to weekly programming here through Compa on the Rise Dance Studio. I benefit from programming here, from Creole lessons to dance to art, cooking classes, all because of Mr. Warren, so I want to thank you again. I had the hard, painstaking opportunity to try to become a vendor and create new programming here over the last year, so that opened my eyes to a lot of the issues here at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. But I want to be clear that that is not because of the management that is here or the staff that is here. I want to be clear that I believe that is due to the City of Miami's management of the Little Haiti Cultural Center. Earlier this year, we sat at a board meeting and we were all saddened by the neglect that happened to the Dupuis building and the demolition. And what pains me is it sounds like we're going down the same route for the Little Haiti Cultural Center. Why isn't the city being proactive? Next week will be the 10th anniversary that the Cultural Center was closed down from before. And now 10 years later, the marketplace has been closed for over a month. No programming, no vendors, because it can no longer operate efficiently or safely. The roof, the AC, mold. But what pains me is this does not happen overnight. If we were doing proactive work instead of reactive work, this would never happen. So how is it happening again? And let's be real, a lot of the fear that we have as community members is because this is what is happening to people's homes and buildings in this area over and over again. For too long, the Cultural Center has also operated under slim budget, understaffed, processes that don't make sense, and then the blame is often placed on the management of the Cultural Center. 3 managers in the last 5 years, a revolving door of management. The city always seems to find someone else to blame. But
I'm sorry to cut you off, it's just a 2-minute time limit.
I will. Just one more thing. When will the city stop pointing fingers to blame the management and point it towards themselves? Thank you.
Dr. Flo Landonato, 2128 Southwest 200, community leader. How many of you in this room feel very hot? Hot not because you are excited, but hot because of the lack of the air conditioning. How many of you come, qui senti que you're chaud? Okay, please. And it's not because of our health or it's not because of menopause or anything. There has been a call to the community, to the chair, to the board members. Please pay attention. And you can see that we answered to the call in numbers. I want to leave you here with the word care, C-A-R-E. The first letter, C, community gathered here all the time because there's a crisis. And that crisis is because of the lack of infrastructure, not because of management. We are happy to hear that Parks and Recreation is present. Then we're asking for action. Action, not in blaming the management, but action in making the proper infrastructure for anybody who consider this place home or community a landmark to really revitalize Little Haiti Cultural Center by exercising your power, the members of the park, to save that landmark and support initiative, example, the Meet God as well, to protect the heritage that Little Haiti represents.
Thank you. I'm going to also call up the next additional names that were to give public comment. James Philisaint, Chico Gunder, Lamar Jambier, Nestle, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Ro Michelle, and Patricia Lesieur.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naomi Payan. Grew up on 111 Northeast 68 Terrace. I've known a lot of people in this room since I was a little girl. Mapu, Principal Dominique, who I think he left. I recently got my degree in urban design, so the more I come into the Little Haiti Cultural Center, the more I see it dilapidated at this point. You walk outside in this lobby, it smells like mold. The marketplace is also moldy and closed down now. $6.5 million is a massive budget. How can we, the community, see where that $6.5 million is going? Secondly, when are elections for the trust? Because I'm curious to know as to when other people in the community can have a chance to revitalize as well.
Hi, James Valsaint, resident of Little Haiti, born and raised in Little Haiti. First thing I'd like to say is the police don't keep us safe, we keep us safe. Again, the police don't keep us safe, we keep us safe. I don't know why the police has programs for kids. Seems as though everybody in this city got programs for kids except for Little Haiti Cultural Center. But yeah, that's another story altogether. I totally understand that the board is not responsible for what happened at the Cultural Center. The city of Miami is, wherever y'all at. So in the city of Miami, when y'all come to give y'all presentation, we don't want to hear excuses. We want to know when we can come to a city of Miami commission meeting and demand that this building get taken care of, wherever y'all at. So tell us when we can come to your place and talk to you. We don't want to hear excuses. I know, again, that y'all not responsible for the cultural center, but y'all is responsible for where the headquarters of the Revitalization Trust goes, right? So I'd like to know why y'all suggesting taking this meeting or the headquarters for this meeting to a Magic City place, giving our tax money to Magic City. Why can't that money go to this building? Or why can't it go into a community place like Notre Dame Haiti Church, where I got community, where I grew up? Why are we giving more of our tax money to people that are trying to displace us? Like someone already said, y'all purposely letting this building, excuse me, not y'all, City of Miami purposely letting this building deteriorate. Y'all letting crime rise in this city so y'all can have a reason to push us out. It's modern day colonization is what gentrification is. So again, when it comes to the Little Haiti, the agenda item that y'all pushed down the road last meeting and that y'all pushed down the road again tonight. It's on the piece of paper, but Christine King's supposed to be here. Where is she? It feels like y'all wasting our time, yo. Like people ain't got time for this. We got work, we got kids. So yes, please, let's not give Magic City more of our tax dollars. Figure out somewhere else to find the headquarters. And City of Miami, yeah, we'll see y'all soon.
So I don't have anyone else at the podium, so I'm going to move on to the next names, and after that, we will open it up to anyone else who wants to speak. So the last set of names I have are Jean Wallace, Negus Mawan, Shakira, Amanda Fisher, and Shannon Frazier. If they're not there, you feel free to go ahead and give your public comment, and then we'll open it up to anyone else who has a public comment at this time.
Greetings, my name is Sharon Frazier Stevens. I'm a resident of Little Haiti. I live in Little Haiti, I breathe Little Haiti, I eat Little Haiti. First, I want to say this. We, the people of the United States of America, in order to perform a perfect union, the President of the United States' name is Joe Biden. He's up for re-election. He ran off the we the people. And it appalls me when city, county, and state workers try to muzzle the people. You'll have to allow the people to be heard. This is America. This is not a third world country. This is America of the United States, which I am a daughter of a 3-war vet. I'm a mother of an Iraqi vet 4 times. I am a widow of a vet. And my grandson just did his 2nd year in the Navy. So what happened when I get up here, what makes me mad is when our people want to speak This is America. Why do you think so much stuff going on over in Little Haiti? In Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. Because barbecue say here getting tired of the government doing them wrong. The people here in Miami-Dade County and the Haitian community is getting tired. I'm not Haitian, but my brother-in-law is from Haitian. Okay. Okay? My kid's father is Cuban, from Havana, Cuba. My dad is from the Bahamas. My grandfather's from the Bahamas. So all of that Caribbean blood is in me. So it's a shame that Christine King is not here. It's a shame that Keon Holloman is not here. It's a shame that our District 2 school board member, who is Dr. Dorothy Benjoff-Minkoff, is not here. It's a shame when Dottie Joseph, who's our state rep, and anybody from the federal government, Frederico Wilson, because we are the people, and these people vote. What I'm telling my Haitian community, I live right down the street, 4 blocks. Vote, vote, vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but you guys need to vote because you know what?
Thank you.
I've been down to the city meeting.
Thank you for your comment.
I've been down to the city meeting.
Thank you for your comment.
You ain't got too many people.
We appreciate your
Yeah, but
comment.
listen, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can
for
I have your
comment.
address for the record? Because I can tell you mine.
Thank you.
6324 Northeast
Thank
First
you for
Place.
your
So
comment.
I don't like people sitting on boards and they from another community or wherever. We,
your
the Haitian
comments.
community here, we're going to fight. And we're going to fight at the polls. Believe that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I haven't said nothing, it's already planned. Can you reset? Good evening, Marion Kenneth Brown. I grew up in this community, I'm from this community, and I appreciate you all sitting here today. And it's not that the people actually is putting their frustration on you all, because you all are community advisors and you live in neighborhoods as well, and you want the same thing to go on in your neighborhood as the people here want to go on in their neighborhood. So we look at this as a learning experience. The reason why a lot of times you have people that you put in office not to show up to these events because they don't feel as though that the people in these events is important enough for them to show up. So what they do is they send out what they call like colleagues or chondroids or just whatever people don't call us. But I'm here today to let you know that all of the concerns and all of the problems that people had brought up to you today, these are really, really issues that they have to deal and live with each and every day. They want their community center to thrive. I want it to thrive. It's just like your neighborhood. You want things to thrive. So all they're saying is bring the money and put it here. Put the money back here. Don't just let this neighborhood collapse and just go away. Because every neighborhood that you go to, that the neighborhood looks like me and you, they're collapsing. And the people that you put in power are the biggest collapsers. They are here to not only build up, they're here to destroy. I mean, for the past 16 years, when the commission that was here, nothing happened. The 12 years that's going on now with the commissioners here, nothing happened. But I appreciate you all coming to listen to all these people concerned. So it's not that they're targeting you all, they just letting you know that they're concerned and they want someone to hear them. So please hear them. Thank you all, Marion Kenneth Brown. Dade County Commissioner, District 2.
Hi, good evening. I'm Shakira Cruzy-Stone. My concerns are regarding the covenant. I appreciate you, Ms. Apata, for really being on the commission for that, or on the board for that. We'd like to thank the trust for the work that you're doing, but we want to ensure that any issues regarding zoning come to the trust first, being that the commission isn't truly always on our side. And so just wanting to highlight that and hopefully that we can make sure that it comes to you all first, it comes to us first, and then brought up to the commission. Also wanting to discuss
Speak your heart, baby. Speak your heart.
wanted to emphasize the importance of the Little Haiti Cultural Center. There's a lot of new people coming to South Florida asking what the Little Haiti Cultural Center is about, and I, at this point, don't have the answers to give, although I've participated in many of the programmings here. So just wanted to emphasize that we take care of this place, and in any way, if any way that I can support, that we can support, that you engage us in that so that we can do the work, so that we can make sure that Little Haiti Cultural Center stays alive. Also wanted to just bring up the 9 businesses that were discussed earlier. The question wasn't really answered about any possible progress before the next meeting. So what is the timeline for supporting those 9 businesses, and also just reaching out to the other businesses to educate them? Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Anyone else for public comment?
Hello, everyone. You had called my name before, but I just wanted to listen to see what people had to say. My name is Nestle Russo, and I'm not from Little Haiti, but 4 years ago, we started a club called the Rotary Club of Little Haiti, and we've been working with the community quite well. And I would like to say thank you to Mr. Warren for working with us for the past 2 years in terms of helping with certain situations that we do in the community. And some of these situations are helping in Haiti and also helping here in the community. I'm not sure if you know about a company called Hand Wash that is in Haiti, that is part of the Rotary Club also, that we are helping. But it seems like there's a problem with communication between certain departments here. And it's like we don't even know who's really making the decisions. So that would be one of the first things, to know who we need to talk to, so at least we can get some things done. And I've been looking at the center, and I've been talking to Mr. Warren, and he's been telling me what's going on. The air condition has been broken for a year and a half. The roof over the market, is leaking, so they cannot use it. So I don't understand why these things are going. Is it because we are Haitian?
I got you.
I don't understand. In other communities, it seems to work pretty well, but for some reason, in our community, it's not working at all. So maybe we need to make some changes in the leadership and see what's going on.
All right.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shilea Sanatru. We have a spot here in Little Haiti called the Vegan Marie. I want to talk about a few things, but I want you guys to be aware that this space was not built for us to be successful. We have had people that led this place properly, that knew what to do to take the space to a level, but the city has shut them down purposely, because they don't want us to succeed. But what we need to do to have is people that are looking out for us as a people that are looking for an interest in the community, because we have people that don't care about this community. We have Haitians that don't care about this community. We know that Miami Airport is only 5 minutes away. Downtown Miami, 5 minutes away. The beach, 10 minutes away. We didn't value this community. So now we have people that are coming here to show us, that are leading the way in a few ways, because the Cubans, they do have people that are looking out for their own interests. It doesn't matter. We need to have people that are looking out for our interest. We are a people. So it's hard to see that this is going the way it's going. Thank you for the Revive Board. You've done quite a good job since you've been here. So we expect more from you. We expect more from you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Verpeel. My public comment is trying to reiterate the point that I think regarding the covenant that was presented, that I think that it's important for the like a line item or just an edit for the covenant to have and include the board's approval of any zoning changes. Because as the young lady who also said before, like the commission doesn't always have the interest of Little Haiti on their side or in mind, and I think that would be important. And this is my first time attending a meeting. I like to attend to more meetings, so I think it'd also be important to have some maybe programming or more explanation on the terms that are being used. This is not my first time hearing the word covenant, but a lot of the language that you guys discuss and the things that you say between you guys, we're watching a board meeting happening so then we can comment on it. We still don't necessarily understand everything that's going on. I'm listening to my friend like, what does that mean? I'm Googling, what does that mean? That's not necessarily where I want to get my information from. I want to get my information from people I'm listening to. So I think it's important for things to be explained in plain language. And another comment is that when maybe an explanation on timelines for the community as well to know, like budgets and things like that, like one of the important meetings for us to attend so we can give comment to as well. I don't know if that's available to us right now, but it'd be great.
It's online, September. We got 2 meetings like the county.
Okay, thank you.
See, we got 2 budget meetings.
Good evening, Leonie Hermanton, Concerned Leaders. I want to thank you for making this and giving us the opportunity to begin the process of speaking to the city. And I thank all of you for coming. But I just want to tell you that for those of us who come to meetings regularly, it's good to see such a large turnout. We don't come out like that regularly. And the thing is that the city, all policymakers, all politicians expect us not to follow up. They know that we make a lot of noise, we make those flash noises, blah, 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 and then we do not follow up. So if we care about the Little Haiti Cultural Center, it's not okay to demonize this board. They have brought us here to begin that conversation. What we have to do is to make the individual and collective commitment to keep showing up, because they expect us not to show up. They expect us to be mad, talk, and then go back, and then come back again when there's another crisis. You're talking about other communities? Other communities show up regularly at meetings. Other communities are hyper-focused on their issues, and they don't give up until the issues are resolved. So tonight, if anything, I'm asking you to keep coming, understand the real targets, understand the people who really have the decision-making power to make a change here, and keep demanding change. Thank you.
Hello, hi, good evening. My name is Fritz Fenelon. I want to continue on what Leonie was saying. How you doing? It's definitely a lot going on. I understand every time an article drop or something in the news come, we kind of mobilize like this, and then we talk about the problem. But these things been going on. The unsafe structure, I think, came about maybe a year and a half ago. Once we got everything cool, we kind of separated and kind of everybody did their own thing. I heard people say community. Community means togetherness. So we live in close proximity, but all we a community. A lot of things we can't ask the board to do, we can't ask the city of Miami to do, or our elected officials. We got to take the responsibility on ourselves. So tonight, I ask a lot of people to look inside themselves and ask, what's the real goal for Little Haiti? what's the real goal for the Haitian community. Because a lot of times when it come time for this, we show up in numbers. But when it come time to stand up for what's going on and be participants in it, bring programs, we know where to be found. So now we dealing with something like tonight. Of course they're gonna do this. We have no voice. We have no voice, we got no demands, we got nothing. So of course we're gonna go through things like this often. It's going on in our schools, it's going on in the community, it's going on in our businesses. So when we come up here, we make it as singular issues, but Little Haiti not dealing with a singular issue. So we could talk business funding, we could talk this, we could talk that, but what is a revitalization of a community? And the revitalization we need here is not singular. We got school issues, we got housing issues right now, our businesses is closing, like everything is changing, but we come in here arguing about a roof. I get it, the roof did fall in. City of Miami is in charge of that. They did know what was going on, and they can't fix it. But we gotta have our voice going on every day. We meet once a month, talk about Little Haiti, then it's back to regular business. Then we come once a month, do the same thing again, and it's back to regular business.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Hello. My name is Olivier Gantier. As Oliga, I'm an artist, so I've been recently at Front Gate at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. But I've been listening, and like my main question is like, I understand that the building is owned by the city of Miami. Is there like a plan for like, okay, let's say this is a cultural landmark representing our culture. Is there like a plan or a committee that's in charge of like keeping this alive? Like when I say that, like in terms of aesthetically, like this represents something cultural in Miami. So like the aesthetic of the building in itself, like the whole building, like this is something that we need to preserve, that no matter like how Miami turns, what it represents, like this place, remain a place that people, as a touristic and cultural landmark. So basically, I'm asking specifically, is the city or like the committee has a plan for like to keep this fresh all the time and or like they do in many cities, many other cities, and different cultural buildings and landmarks. So that was my exact question and concern. I want to make sure that there's a committee, because like yes, the city on this. But also, like the people that are like in that culture and that are like that really care about this, and that obviously have the knowledge to be part of revitalizing it. So basically, I think there should be a committee. There should be something for them to be part of keeping this fresh and alive. That was my comment.
Hi everybody, my name is Rebecca King. Thank you again, Trust. You guys have been awesome and amazing. Thank you everybody for coming out. I also have been attending a lot of meetings, so a lot of your concerns they have heard and they are working towards. And also I want to point out that, as they said, some of them are park issues, they are city issues. And as this gentleman said, I think that he made a really good point. Us as a community, it's very important for us to continue to come in numbers. That is literally what we do as a Haitian community. We are a community that fights, and we're a community that sticks together, so we need to actually stick together. But something that I want to also ask of the committee and make a comment is, we need your help and direction. You guys put this together for us, and people are starting to come. They are moving because you guys have established this and you guys have put this together. And if you guys can give us more direction as far as, you guys can't make programs, but if there is something that you can make that can push things forward, that would be amazing. Maybe people who have resources. There are people here with companies, so calling out for companies that are willing to maybe help fix the roof or, do certain things that you have the leeway and the ability to do, that would be amazing, because then it's on us. It's on us as a community to just show up. And as everybody's talking and everybody has comments, Like, we do expect you to show up. We do expect you to come. We do expect you to help the youth. And that's really where we will have to show up. So I just want to thank you, everybody, for showing up. And I just want to actually ask everybody to put your feet where your mouth is and show up. The community and the board.
Public comment is now closed. We are going to invite the members of the parks and other city departments to please join us and to provide their update. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? All right, good evening, board. Thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate it. My name is Chris Evans. I'm the Parks Director for the City of Miami. I also have my city staff here with us as well. I have Clevia Morley Snipes, who's our Assistant Director of Administration here. Also, Mr. Hector Badia, who is the Director of the Office of Capital Improvements. Mr. Acel Morero, who is our Assistant City Manager here as well. I definitely wanted to start by saying I appreciate the invitation. Like, I hear you loud and clear, the passion is strong, and I really, really appreciate how the commitment that all of you have for Little Haiti. And I know it's on us to make sure that we turn these thoughts and this passion into action. So I hear you loud and clear on that. So I wanted to start with that. I've been the Parks Director for a year now. Before that, I've been here with the city for 5 years, and before that, I was with the County Parks Department as well. So I do have experience with making sure we execute some of our plans. I do want to make sure I address this. I know this is Mr. Warren's last meeting. I do want to echo the sentiments as well of your year with us. We do appreciate it. We sincerely, wish you, the best of luck in your future endeavors. And I definitely appreciate all of you for saying your kind words about Mr. Warren and his leadership. So I definitely wanted to make sure I put that out as well.
Don't go nowhere. Stay here. Don't go. Make them go. Go nowhere.
If we can please be respectful, we've been waiting all night to hear from them, so let's hear from them.
There we go. I'm here to discuss the programming and the overall maintenance. I know we have our capital improvements department here as well to give you some updates and some timelines for the different things that you've been mentioning as well. I do want to say that we have a master plan for the Parks Department. We've been working on that. Like I said, I've been here a year. We finalized that in our first couple months here with the city for all of our 151 parks. The next step is really to engage all of you to make sure we're doing exactly what we need to do for your community. So it's not coming from us, it's really coming from you all. So that is something we're definitely passionate about. We have some surveys. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Clevia will mention that as well, what the next steps are for making sure things happen. I would like to, from the board, I know the police came quarterly. I would love the opportunity to come quarterly as well to provide an update on everything. That's a commitment you have from myself, from the capital improvements as well. Also, wanted to just address a couple of things. I've been, like I said, I've been with the department for 5 years and service department director for one. We want the Little Haiti Cultural Complex to remain open, to remain thriving within the city. It is something that I'm passionate about. I know it's words right now, and I have to show you action. It's the first time you're seeing me, so I hope to continue to have the opportunity to tell you that, but we're not trying to let it fall into dilapidation and get sold off. I understand that there's a narrative, but I can tell you that that's not our plan. So we'll have an update on where some of the things are, but since this is my first time with you all, I wanted to at least kind of address kind of an annual report style of some of the things that have been happening here in the last year under Mr. Warren's leadership since we've had a full-time center manager. So there has been efforts to resurface the theater floors, add new murals to the marketplace, install new audio-visual equipment, expand programming. I know some of that has been spoken about already. Increasing special events during Black History Month, Women's History Month, farm share distributions, mosaic market events, and then additionally partnering to create 28 events during Haitian Heritage Month. And then offering free classes as well. And then have the theater lobby activated as well as a space for art exhibits. As far as the pending updates and projects, the HVAC system as well, I know it's been spoken about. It's scheduled for delivery in September. Unfortunately, due to supply chains, has delayed the installation and delayed the delivery. In the meantime, we have installed temporary units throughout the facility to ensure we did not have to close. So we do understand that there are roof replacements needed, and then the water pooling issue on the roof we are addressing. Some of our temporary fixes, but I know Hector is here to discuss more the long term and the other issues for improvement. Test.
Good evening, everyone. Hector Vidia, Director of Capital Improvements. Just a little bit of background. We have 9 projects assigned to the Little Haiti Cultural Center, and $3.1 million has been funded against those projects. So far, we've spent $1.8 million in improvements, and with the balance of the money that we have here, we're going to address some of these items that are of importance here. The first one I have is the drainage issue between the 2 buildings, between the Caribbean Marketplace and the Little Haiti Cultural Center. That project is to begin in August. We already have a contractor on board. We're finalizing the paperwork with him. The sequence of it is he'll get his notice to proceed, he'll get to pull his permits, acquire all his paperwork through the architect, and then finally mobilize to the site. We're looking at a 120-day time frame for that. Okay. The next item is the roof, the water intrusion into the building. So we're looking at, we have an engineer on board. They're doing an assessment of the building. There's 2 issues there. One is there's a parapet wall, and the way the roof joins to that wall is an issue. He's going to provide us a solution to that. And then we have also the the marketplace, last one, which is the major one. The marketplace, a roof replacement, that is a long-term issue. We have a design engineer on board. They're doing the design. We're looking at that it is a historic structure, so we do have to go through the Historic Environmental Preservation Board. So we're looking at a June 2025 start of construction on that project. Yes, it's a long process through the design. It's a complete replacement. Also includes the replacement of AC units.
So on that, good evening, everyone. Ace Marrero, I'm the Assistant City Manager for the City of Miami. I do not oversee parks, but I do oversee capital, oversee planning, public works, zoning, building, and sustainability. And on that particular job that on the marketplace, it's not just a roof replacement, it's an entire HVAC system replacement, right? We have MC Harry, the architects are already on board, and they have already been retained, and they're completing the design process to complete those drawings, get it to bid, and have that construction started as soon as possible. We have an estimated completion date of 2026 for that entire project, okay? Now, I took a lot of notes during today's meeting, you know, and if you indulge me, I'll read some of them. You know, when do you expect some of these repairs to be done? That was one of the first comments that I've heard. And Mr. Director, you made a commitment that you were going to come here quarterly. I think we can do much better than that. I think we can come here monthly, right? I think we can come here monthly, and the least we can do is give you an update on how we're doing in all of those projects, right? So today we're giving you a big picture of all of the projects that we have funded for this particular building. We want to make sure that we come on a regular basis and give you an update as to where are those projects, and what are the expectations for, are we meeting those deadlines or not? And so we're going to be able to face you here every month and tell you where we are on those projects. We made that similar commitment to this trust here when we were having the issue with the Dupuy building. And we said, we're going to come here every month, and you know, the planning department, and we're going to give you an update every month. And we've been doing that. We made that commitment, and we're here every month. And we're going to do the very same commitment for parks and for LCI, so we can brief you on a monthly basis. You said, you know, who do you talk to? You can talk to me. And I only have one phone, and I will give you my phone. All right, as an assistant city manager. If you guys are ready to take down my number, I'll give you my number right now. It's okay. Well, that we can certainly start the conversation. We can certainly start the conversation. Set, I have 786-282-2236. That's the only number I have. That's where my wife calls me. That's where my kids call me. That's where every City of Miami resident that has an issue with the City of Miami calls me, because that's what I do. That's my job. So if you have an issue with the City of Miami and it's under my purview, please call me. I'm also going to give you my email address. By the way, you can find it on our website, but I'll give you know, and my cell phone too.
Your name?
Ace, A-C-E, Marrero, M-A-R-R-E-R-O. Then I'm going to give you my email. My email is A, and then my last name, M-A-R-R-E-R-O. I'll repeat that again, A-M-A-R-R-E-R-O at miamigov.com. Please send me an email when you have an issue, okay? And we have made our commitment that we're going to be here every month. Now let me keep going through some of these notes, because I want to make sure that I take at least 5 minutes to have the decency to respond to some of those questions that you guys have on behalf of the city. Okay? How can we utilize this facility better for the summer programs? Well, you have the director right here. No one is better suited in the city of Miami to answer that question than Chris.
What's his number?
Okay? Chris, what you need to give them, you need to give him your email address, please. Please give him.
Hello, everyone. Email.
I truly believe if you're here representing the city of Miami, public service has to be at the core of what we do.
Email cevans@miamigov.com. CEVANS@miamigov.com.
And my email, if everyone wants to write it down, it's Hector, it's HBADIA@miamigov.com. That's HBADIA@miamigov.com. We also have a community engagement group as part of our department. Their email is askoci@miamigov.com. Ask Community Engagement Group. We have a staff of 3 that deals with meetings and getting the messages back to you. So that's askoci@miamigov.com.
And Mr. Moreno do take care of issues, I'm telling you, because I tried on several of them, and it happened. So go down to the city, Pan American Drive, Bayshore Drive, go down there.
I heard, is this building going the same route as the Dupuy building? Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. Okay, I got some numbers here that I want to share with you guys. This from 2006 to 2019, the city invested in this building $1.9 million.
Where?
I know it may be difficult to see. I said from 2006 to 2019. Right now, the city has capital projects valued at $5.3 million to renovate these facilities, to do the roof, to do the AC, right? To do all these issues that we have, to replace the AC that we have, parts have been ordered. And you know what? Maybe that's not enough. Maybe that's not enough. And that's where community engagement comes in. And that's when the city needs to be informed as to what is it that what are those next steps that we need to take care of for this particular building. Okay? I heard the acronym CARE. I heard the acronym CARE. And you said that you come from, you made the statement, we the people. You come from a background of those who serve this country. So did I. I serve this country too. Okay? So, I care too. Okay? I care too. How do we get in contact with those people that are in charge in the city of Miami? That was another question that I heard. I just gave you my cell phone. There is no better way to get in contact with me other than the cell phone. Okay? I'm going to wrap it up by perhaps just the last comment. There were some about the aesthetics of the building. How do we get involved with the aesthetics of this building? Right here. By reaching out to this gentleman right here who's in charge of OCI. That's how you get involved with the aesthetics of this building. Okay? And how do we become an active participant? Well, the city has commission meetings every other week. If you want to become an active participant, please attend commission meetings. Please be involved with your community above and beyond these meetings here. Okay? I think you need to continue doing what you're doing right now. Okay? That's a great start. All right? So I'm going to wrap up by telling you, you have the commitment from me personally. I'm going to be attending these meetings with these directors here, and I'm going to be part of those updates that you're going to get on a monthly basis. Okay? So with that, if you have any questions, I know you were given 2 minutes. I know you were given 2 minutes, but you know what?
If I can just, there's a couple of questions from the board, and public comment has already been closed.
I got a programming, more updates, and then just to get you a question on programming as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, two more important dates. I'm going to hand it off to LaClevia. Is September 14th and September 26th. That's the City of Miami budget meeting. That's when the final decisions get made on where the allocations come from. We do a lot of recommendations. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now. But September 14th, September 26th at commission. There's 5 commissioners there. They all approve the budget. They approve what the increases get. We, the Parks Department, provide our recommendations. And then the next step is for those, community to champion those to get exactly what you feel like the center needs to thrive. Okay? September 14th, September 26th. I know we have the emails here from the board. We'll make sure, we blast that out to let you know exactly when the budget meetings are. I know that the board, I believe this budget gets approved at the same time, same date. So September 14th, September 26th. So I'm going to hand it off to Assistant Director.
Good evening, everyone. My name is LaClevia Morley Snipes. I'm the Assistant Director of Administration. I've been employed in the City of Miami for 24 years. 23 of those have been in the Parks Department in various capacities. Over the last 2 years, I've been directly involved with helping oversee the Cultural Center, and they report to me in addition to other divisions within the department. I do know many of you here. I work closely with you in helping implement some of the programs and activities and events that you wanted to do here. So I just want to touch upon a few things. Chris mentioned the budget. Usually in January, February, we start our budget process. That's when we start compiling ideas and needs, and then we submit that usually around April. And that is when the city at large starts to compile those things in order to vote on the budget, which is in September, which is those dates that Chris mentioned. As a part of our department's process, we have asked all of the division heads, so Mr. Warren and the previous managers here, they give suggestions. We take in account the previous expenses, needs, maintenance, all of those things, and we compile those. A lot of times we have to reach out for quotes so we can have better ideas of prices, just to be very transparent. Sometimes when we get those, by the time those items go into effect or we start working on those, the things increase, so we do need to find additional funding. But I just wanted to give you a general idea of how the budget works. In some of the conversations, there have been talks about staff and programming and all of those things. Your needs and your wants and desires do not go unheard. As a part of that process, like we say, we compile those things and we make suggestions. The center alone has a $1.8 billion budget for the 2 facilities. So we do request those things every year, but we have to work with what we're allocated. And so those ideas and those requests do not fall on deaf ears. These staff, they do get to put feedback and their input, so it's not us just totally making a decision. One of the other things I wanted to touch upon in terms of budget, and you voicing your concern about us not having a lot of things that are allocated for this place. One of the young ladies came up and they talked about, collaborating. So that is a creative way to be able to implement programming. I have personally worked with some of the organizations in the community to help reduce fees, waive fees for programming. So there are ways that we can come together to program the center, and it doesn't always have to involve money. We have waived fees for people to use the center, but it has to be for the benefit of the community and not charging the people and the residents. So those are things that you have to keep in mind. One of the main things that I wanted to talk on is that we adopted, as Chris said, our master plan in July of last year. And one of those things we did, that was a 2-year process, and we went throughout the entire city of Miami. We did have meetings here. We did. We went throughout the entire city, and we solicited input. We did have a meeting here, but we did not have this kind of turnout. But nonetheless, it got adopted in July of last year. But one of the things that I charged the incoming manager with, because I saw the need, was for us to start a strategic plan specifically for this center, okay? We started that process in September by soliciting a consultant to help us facilitate this process. In November of last year, we met with the staff here to get their feedback, to see what their concerns were and how they thought we could improve them. We then designed a survey. That survey was sent out in April. As of yesterday, we have 47 people. That's less than the people that are in this room right now. 47 people as of yesterday responded. So, you did see one of our special project coordinators sitting outside asking you all to fill out that survey, asking you all to spread the word. We are going to extend your opportunity to provide feedback because it's essential. With the strategic plan, that means your voice is heard. You determine the programming that goes on in this center. That is not determined by the center manager. That is not determined by me. We will use that as a guide to help program the center, to help develop partnerships, but we need your input. So just like they said, we need you to come out. So one of the things that I will commit to doing is once we get, and the way that the process works is that once we get your feedback, it will be summarized. We will then have a community meeting where you all come out and you hear what the input was. And I'm quite sure most of you already know what it is, right? But then we get to workshop what programming will look like at this center for years to come. Once that is finalized, then we present it to the city officials, and it is recorded. It is on record that this is the recommendation for the next 5 to 7 years. So what I'm charging you all with is to pay attention to the social media, to follow the information that the trust puts out so that you can come out when we have these meetings to make sure that we have your input. People can tell you in the last 2 years, I've been out here to events, I've been to the Haitian Heritage Planning events, I've worked directly with a lot of the people here. So I want to make sure that you understand that we and I will commit to, I know Ace mentioned monthly coming to the trust meeting, but I want to start having a quarterly meeting with you all, just solely focused on the progress and the programming at the center. We know that we may not have all the resources, but like you said, if we work together, we can do a whole lot. The city does have processes in place to partner with people who would make donations of resources for programming. This past year, we have partnered with agencies who provided programming free of charge that did not have to pay fees. So we can continue to collaborate to make sure that the center is programmed, to make sure that it's thriving. But we do need your help and we need your creativity to make sure that it's sustainable. So I will commit to making sure that we have these quarterly meetings. And like you said, we'll provide meetings to the trust so that you know what's going on with those construction projects. Just a little note, I know that you all don't see the projects happening right now, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in terms of getting funding, in terms of getting that adopted in terms of finding somebody to come out and do the work. We realize that there has not been the communication taking place, but don't think that your concerns are falling on deaf ears. We are working behind the scenes. We realize from that we have to let you know more of what's taking place, but your voices are heard. And we will make sure that going forward, you have access to that information, you have your resources. So I will share my information. My email is lmorley@miamigov.com. I can also say that everybody at this center has my information and they know how to get in touch with me. A fourth of the people sitting in this auditorium, they have my information and they know how to get in touch with me. My number, 305-416-1332. And we look forward to working with you to improve this center and make sure that it's around for years to come. Email again is lmorley, LMORLEY @miamigov.com.
Thank you. The last thing I add for, and I'll give it to you for questions. We did request $1.8 million in enhancements for the next fiscal year. That would include increases for services, operating expenses, promotional items, programming, general repair, maintenance, and additional staff to manage the facility. So that has been in our request. It's in the hands of the commission. I'll absolutely charge you again to help bring the same energy and passion September 14th, September 26th at City Hall.
Thank you.
We have a couple of questions from the board.
Yeah, so I know everybody works hard, but I am bothered, as a person. I'm not speaking from the board right now, I'm speaking as a person that grew up 3 blocks from here. And about a month ago, I seen trees growing from the gutters. So if a tree is growing from the gutters, that means that dirt, think about how much sediment think about how much neglect that is. It's like seeing someone, on life support, and then you give them a sip of water and say, hey, at least I'm getting, it really hurts to say, I hear what you guys are saying about budget, but this ain't about budget. This is about blatant neglect, from my eyes. From my eyes. I have to sit up here and take a lot of heat too. I'm a community leader. People give me the business up here. And I have to look them in the eyes, and I walk here and I see people and I talk to them, I engage them, because that's what a leader does. But I can't sit here as a leader as well and say, I see a mango tree growing from the gutters of the cultural center. I gotta ask myself, how many years is it taking for that gutter? And that's just like a symbol, and it's not to call any singular person out. Like Ms. Marrero, I guess I applaud what you're saying, but you cannot speak for the entire, you can't do that, man. You can't get in front of a bus like that and say you're gonna take care of everything.
That is not what I'm saying.
Well, that's not what you're saying.
No, let me.
Well, I'm not gonna get, it's not, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm not trying to argue. But what I'm saying is, I'm speaking.
And neither am I.
But I'm speaking and you're cutting me off. So please don't do that. The point of what I'm saying is, that's not a system. You are not a system. Give us a system that works. That's not fair. $1.8 million. This facility is 68,000 square feet. 68,000 square feet. $1.8 million, that's just, come on, divide that by the square footage. That's not a lot of money, man. It's not. We sitting on 6.5 and they want me to build 100, they want me to rebuild Little Haiti with 6.5 million. We couldn't do this facility with our budget. You understand where I'm coming from? So, once again, it's not an attack on you, sir. I'm speaking to leadership and ownership. And like, yes, that's nice now, but think about the money that we're gonna have to spend as taxpayers, because I work here, I live here, I'm a business owner, and I own property here. And I grew up here. Think about all the resources we gotta now use to fix inanimate things if we just would have took care of it. That money could have been going to programming for youth. Now we gotta stall. This building could have been operational. Now it gotta be closed. These are the things that we have to continue to learn. We just saw what happened with the Dupuy building. Never been in that building in my life. But what I learned from that lesson is, if we're not careful, if we're not good stewards of the stuff that's gonna continue to happen, and 3 months later we're here. So that's me speaking from a person that's a leader in this community, someone that's from the community. There's no personal attack on you, but you know, I'm speaking to everybody here too. If you see a mango growing from the top of the cultural center, did you call the commissioner? Did you go down to the commissioner's office? When you saw the paint falling down, you saw cracks. Did you say anything? You probably didn't. So it's now moving forward, like we gotta learn as a community. So I'm nothing personal against anybody here, because I catch it every month. But I just had to say that, like, you know, we gotta move better, and we gotta move strategic, and we gotta think about all the resources now that we not have to waste that could be going to children, that could be going to families, that could be going to end some of this quote unquote gun violence that's happening in the community. Because this is a place that can mitigate it, but we're not taking care of business. And that's all I have to say.
Hello. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I have some specific questions. I listened to what was said, and I'm trying to, I guess, get clarity. So, 3 specific questions to start off with. I'd like to confirm, Mr. Badia, what you explained, and if I heard correctly, any repair project is not going to start until June of next year. It's in the design phase right now, it's being worked on, but physical repairs of that building's roof are not until June of next year.
To June of next year.
But not all of the repairs, be specific, please.
Right, we're bifurcating this. So we're doing a short-term repair to buy us time to address the water intrusion, and then the permanent repairs will.
And when is that gonna take place?
So that's part of my next question. I wanted to confirm, and I'm having a hard time understanding, so you're going to secure the building. You're gonna stop the water intrusion, it's going to not be leaking any further.
In the short term, so there's issues with the skylights and the parapet wall.
So the connection of where the roof and the parapet wall water is coming down.
Correct, so we have an engineer on board, they're looking at it, they're gonna make a recommendation, but we have to go through a design to address that and get permits on that.
So
in the short term, what we're gonna do is we'll provide a temporary repair to give us buy some time in order to implement the permanent solution.
So,
February.
hold on, before everybody gets excited, I'm gonna try to sort this out, so give me just a minute, I have a couple more questions, bear with me, guys. What is the timeline for the short-term portion? Because right now, there is flapping tarps on the building. That's what caught my attention. I happened to not go my typical way, and I came from south to north. And when you come up Northeast 2nd Avenue, you can see the tarps flapping. So if there's another hard rainstorm, there's a hurricane, a tropical storm, any of that kind of stuff, next month, next week, you know, in the short term, this building is gonna be further destroyed. We're gonna need additional funds to repair the inside from water intrusion. So I need to understand, I guess, I get the long-term project to do it properly, to do it correctly, to fix it once and for all. But next week, what is being done to stop the water intrusion? It's the middle of the summer.
Right, the short-term solution, the immediate solution, right? Something we're gonna work on. The short term is
The air's behind me and everything, if you can speak up, I can't hear you.
the short term, in order to stop the water intrusion, is a immediate solution. We're gonna work on that right away. Okay?
Okay, but there's flapping tarps up there. So
Understood.
can, this week or next week, can we secure the tarps? Can we Tapcon them down? Can we do something to
Absolutely.
help this building?
We'll take a look at
Because,
it, yes.
I mean, I'm looking at this, besides mango trees, besides there's flapping tarps.
I got you.
And, you know, if there is a tropical storm that comes in the next couple weeks, there is no helping this building. I mean, there's water pouring in it, to the point where we have mold and, you know, we can't occupy this building, it's shut down. This isn't a small leak where you put a bucket under it or something like that. So, there has to be a sense of urgency here. That I don't disagree with. I have patience, I understand the process, I understand there needs to be design, there needs to be plans, and all of that stuff. But you don't leave your house with a gaping hole in it and live in it with water pouring, you know, down. So, if we could, I mean, can we have an update set? Can we do something where we can get some kind of city staff out here some kind of emergency repairs and put a proper tarp, some kind of something with more mills, that is not tied down on the spire with ropes. I mean, it's a pretty bad situation when you look at this, when you're, a community member, or you're driving by, or you live here and you see this on a daily basis. It's getting worse day by day. So we don't have a year to wait. And I'm sorry for being pesky, but I mean, this has been going on, I brought up, this isn't the first time that this has been brought up. So, this has really become urgent. Water is like the root of all evil. So if we don't stop the water, this building, the inside is gonna be destroyed as well.
Understood. We'll send our staff out there to take a look.
Okay, I appreciate it. And then lastly, I'd like to understand, the marketplace will be shut down for the duration of this until 2026 when the roof is fixed? How long do we expect the marketplace to be shut down?
No, after Haitian Heritage Month, we usually have some downtime to assess what we're doing. As far as marketplace, activity, we're not closing it down. We want to make sure that the air conditioning's working and that everything is properly, like we're not shutting down the marketplace. There's some moments where there's not programming based on the staffing hours, based on availability, but we're not shutting down the marketplace.
So when is the mold going to be remediated? The water intrusion stops, there's mice, there's other vermin and insects and all kinds of things going on. So that's why I'm saying this is quite urgent. We're on the ground here, we use this building, we can't even meet in there anymore. So this needs to be further divided into tomorrow, a short term and a long term.
There's a site visit that's planned for tomorrow already for this building.
Perfect. You ask and you shall receive, so I greatly appreciate it. And I mean, this has gotten to like a crisis point, and I apologize, but we can't let this go. We can't keep turning a blind eye to it. Thank you.
I just have one further point of information or contact information for you. You all have voiced some concerns that you've seen driving by the facility. You can also contact us at parks, PARKS, at miamigov.com, and you will assist us by letting us know some of these concerns or some of the things that you see that are taking place at the facility. We have someone that checks that email thoroughly throughout the day, and they will let you know that they acknowledge that they received the email and will forward it to the appropriate person to address these issues. Parks at miamigov.com.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to Parks and the City for your time today. What I do want to reiterate to the community is that there will be a meeting regarding the Cultural Center specifically that will be headed by the Commissioner's office. So again, please look out for that information for that community meeting. And as we close our board meeting today, I would like to reiterate, because of some concerns, the Commissioner's office was not invited to this meeting. So for those that are stating that the Commissioner was not here, the Commissioner was not invited to the meeting. And just to be clear, the Commissioner's office has been an ally to this board and has always come out when invited. So thank you all, everyone, and I really want to say, allowing us to have this as a community forum for these issues. Thank you again. Yes. Meeting adjourned.